For 1,000 years since the death of Christ, most Christian architecture movement occurs from the top down. Early Christian architecture started with the vision of Emperor Constantine. Architecture was part of the building project started by Emperor Justinian. Carolingian architecture got its start with Emperor Charlemagne. Romanesque architecture is different. The Romanesque architecture movement was not one of the top-down imperial projects. It was more like a grassroots movement that took off independently in a variety of places from Italy to England, each with its own unique take on this new form, yet they all have a few things in common. They all seem fixated on semicircular arch. They all have decorated exterior, especially on their western entrance. They make use of a vaulted masonry ceiling rather than a wooden one. This heavy masonry ceiling required a heavy construction. This meant thick walls, new windows, and a little light. It also meant supplementing or replacing delicate brown colors with sturdier square piers. The semicircular arch was very popular during the Roman Empire. The semicircular arch is strong and durable. Romanesque architecture loved this arch, and they use it everywhere: doors, windows, ceilings, upgrades. Romanesque architecture were nothing if not ambitious. Not only they want to build huge new trenches, but they also want to roof those trenches with masonry, not wood. Now you can't just run masonry horizontally. You can't build a ceiling like you build a wall. The pieces would fall out. To tackle this problem, Romanesque architecture turned to the semicircular arch. An arch is used to build an unsupported opening out of a masonry. It only took a little bit of cleverness to stretch this arch out, making a sort of a tunnel. When this arch tunnel is used to roof a building, it is called vaulting. There were three sorts of vaulting popular in Romanesque architecture.
There were three sorts of vaulting popular in Romanesque times. First was the barrel vault. Next came the groin vault, which was later improved to the ribbed vault. The barrel vault is the simplest sort of vaulting. It's just a semicircular arch stretched along a single axis. The barrel vault has been around for a very long time. We see its use in ancient Egypt and Rome. Earlier medieval churches had also made use of this technique, but its use was modest and, with a few exceptions, underground. With the Romanesque, we see barrel vaults get pushed to their limits. So, the barrel vault works nicely for covering a long hall, like the basilicas of old. But by this time, churches didn't have just one axis, but several axes. The use of a transept, or a crossing part of the church, had become a standard in the West during Carolingian times. So what happens when two barrel vaults meet at a right angle? The solution is the groin vault. The groin vault is where two barrel vaults meet. It vaults the intervening space with a sort of square dome. The groin vault has the added bonus of setting the weight more vertically on pillars, rather than horizontally on walls. Like barrel vaults, groin vaults are very old. The Romans used them in their baths and their indoor markets. Carolingians used them in their crypts. Romanesque architects made groin vaults even larger, grander, and more beautiful. Toward the end of the Romanesque era, a new form of vaulting was invented, the rib vault. Unlike the groin vault, which is essentially two barrel vaults meeting at a right angle, with the ribbed vault, you're essentially building little arch frames, or ribs, and then filling in the gaps between them. These ribs do an even better job of focusing the weight of the vaulting onto a few small places. With ribbed vaults, Romanesque architects could make their churches wider, taller, and even more impressive. Vaulted ceilings mean that there's a lot of heavy masonry hanging over your head.
Vaulted ceilings means there's a lot of heavy masonry hanging over your head. All that weight has to go somewhere. Romanesque architecture comes out with a very creative way to handle this new burden. Probably the most mundane solution was the big fat walls with few windows. Yet, these fat walls severely limit the amount of light that enter the cathedral. Another solution was to alternate columns, which are good at handling vertical forces, with piers, which are large. Usually, square support they are much better at handling horizontal force. This alternation might be horizontal as Mainz Cathedral, vertical as Malmesbury Abbey, or both as Durham Cathedral. At Durham Cathedral, we also see another solution, the combination of piers with plate surface column. So far, we've been focusing on the interior of the church, yet there were other huge changes occurring at the exterior of Romanesque church as well. The earlier church had plain exterior and only decorated the interior. The Romanesque architecture brought some of the beautiful interior decoration outside. One way which Romanesque architecture chased out their exterior was the sculpture of decoration, especially around the main entrance of the church. These round, highly decorated portals, known as tympanum, become increasingly popular in Romanesque architecture. We also see the addition of decorative statues and some incredible fancy columns. Another big Romanesque development was the building of tower. We can see predecessor to this trend in Carolingian as well, a grand facade on the western entrance of the building. These trends really take off in the Romanesque, on the western face of the church and at the eastern end of the church. Another sort of tower that was very popular, especially in Italy, were freestanding bell towers known as campaniles. The most famous of these campaniles is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. At Pisa, we also see one of the best examples of the Romanesque arcade, which is a row of an archway. An arcade is just like a colonnade, except with arch instead of column.